Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Happiness, Hope, and Healing. Super excited that you are here tonight because I have one of my new besties. I just love this woman. She's a spitfire. She's like me. We're just always adventure and living out loud and always laughing and always wanting to help women and inspire women. And I just love her. I didn't know her, haven't known her for very long. I think we met in Nashville.
Yes.
Right, where yeah, and just really hit it off and really love to follow along each other's journey and share stories and inspire. And I just wanted you to hear her story tonight. I haven't even heard her story in its entirety, but we're not even on the well, we're technically on the same team, but we're not
Yeah.
directly related to each other in the business sense. But you know what, one of the things I love about where we are now is that everybody works with everybody, and we all are just on this mission to help people feel good now. And that's because there are so many stories coming out about people and their mental health and their struggles and physical. I mean, I've had a major physical transformation myself. But before we go into all of that, I have to remind you, I've got to do the legal mumbo jumbo. We do not claim to diagnose, treat, cure any of that. We make zero medical claims. I simply just love to bring people on here and have them share their story and their experience with you, because I know that you're watching and you're listening and you're thinking and you're hoping that it's going to work. So let's get started. This is my good friend Letha, and she hails from Tennessee. Were you born in Tennessee?
I was not. I was actually born in Indiana.
All right. So you made your way to Tennessee, and oh, I just love it. So why don't you tell us a little bit of your backstory, a little bit about you, who you are, where you come from, what you do?
Okay. So I am 52 years old.
Don't look
I
it.
oh, thank you.
Don't look it. I
I
think I
was
saw a picture of your kids and I was like, no freaking way.
yes. I'm almost 53. And I was born in Indiana, but we moved to Tennessee when I was 7.
Okay.
So I basically feel like this is my home. I don't really
Right.
remember anything about Indiana. But so again, grew up here, and then I am a mom of 3. So my 2 older children, they're twins, boy and girl. But they are actually my stepchildren. I got them when they were 5.
Oh,
But I don't even we don't use the word step, they're
right.
they're
I
my
agree.
kids. They're
Yeah,
my
I
kids.
agree.
So we don't do those labels. But and then I married my husband. Let's see. Next week will be our, what year is this? 2024, 23rd wedding anniversary.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I
That's not common
know.
anymore. I love it.
Yep, 23 years. And
I love
um
it.
and then he and I have one together, Roman. And he will be 20 the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
And he's moving out at the end of the month. So I'm going to be an empty nester.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough, but it's amazing. I mean, I think we talked about this earlier in the week where you were like, it is so hard emotionally to raise someone who is your everything, to learn to live not without you, but on their own, and the independence, and
Yes.
like that's so hard, right? So I know for me it was too. My kids moved out. They moved in with their dad when they were like, I think 15, 14 and 18. And even though my oldest was fairly grown up, it was still, you're like, what do I do now? And I feel like that's kind of why I've started this series, because a lot of the ladies that have been on here already, it's the same thing. Like their kids are grown. And so it's like a lot of women get to that point and they're like, okay, what do I do now? Like I've
Right.
been mom. Mom becomes your identity. I once had a mentor and she was like, who are you? And I'm like, well, I'm a mom and I'm a wife. She's like, no, that's what you do. But who are
Yeah.
you? And
Who
so
are
she
you?
really taught me to like dig into that and figuring out who you are, what you're passionate about, what you love, what you want to do, and how you want to leave that positive imprint on the world. So yeah, I totally understand that.
Yep. I know. I know. It's crazy when you think back, because all you can remember doing is being a mom and
Yeah.
doing the mom things, the mom
Yeah.
duties. It's like and now, well, like the twins, they're 29, and so they've been out a while. So then there was a 9-year difference between them and
Mm.
Roman. Um, so we kind of got them out through college, got them out, and then we went through all the high school and all that again. So
All over again.
um
Was the second round easier than the first round?
yeah. But the older two, say that we gave him way too much freedom, and we did, and I was
Yeah,
like, well, we were learning with you, and
right.
then with him, it's kind of like you learn to fight which battles. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's a really good point because that's the truth of it. Like, there's no manual that comes, okay, your baby's born, here you go. Or, I mean, we had the what to expect when, but there was no life manual for what
No.
do I do? How do I do it? So, like I said to my kids, like, I did my best with what I knew at the time and what I was. I mean, I had a really rough relationship and there was a lot of guilt and a lot of shame because I'm like I wasn't there for my kids like I should have been because I was just trying to get through every day and mentally and emotionally like survive all the
Yes.
trauma that was going on. So I do have a lot of shame and a lot of or I did. I don't anymore because I'm really working through that. But the shame and the regret and everything of I should have done this better. Well, hindsight's always 2020, right? So
Or
yeah, like we're not always going to be perfect. And you're going to look back at some point and say, I could have done that better. I should have done this instead of that. And so as I think the time that you're coming to, and I've just, been going through it the last few years is like you start to analyze like, or when they fail out in the real world, you're like, you kind of feel like that's your fault. Like I didn't prepare them or I didn't get
yeah,
them ready for that. And I didn't, so I don't know why we as women, like we become these pack mules where we take everything on and we carry it and carry it and
yeah,
carry it and it doesn't stop. And it's like, okay, you need to put that down. That's not yours to carry. So that's part of why I wanted to do some of these episodes is just so that women can hear the stories of other women and
yeah,
realize. So yeah, so you got through the second round and he's ready to go. So what's
yeah.
next?
He's ready to go. So honestly, I don't know what's next. It's never just been my husband and I. So this is all new territory. We have recently started buying some horses. We have two horses. Um, one is 12 and she's like completely broken and anyone can ride her and she's the sweetest thing. And then we have a 2-year old and we actually took her up to the Amish in Kentucky and they are helping to break her in and teach her
Oh,
manners and teach her how to pull a cart and because you can't really ride them until they're 2, so we got her
yeah.
at 2 and we have no idea how to break a horse or you don't want to
Listen,
know.
I do not have, I will be riding the 12-year-old if I ever visit you because I will tell you my story about horses. I went with my youth group. I was a youth leader and we took them horseback riding. I have two different stories actually. One I was a teenager, but I'll go to that one after. So I was on this horse and a bird, like we were by this little wire fence and all these tall brush and everything, and we're on this trail, and a bird like flew up out of nowhere and startled the horse. And so he didn't really buck or anything, thank God. Well, he did a little. That's not true. He did buck a little bit. And of course, you lean forward, you hold on, whatever. But then when they put the saddle on him, he was bloated and they
Oh,
didn't do whatever it was that you're supposed to do to make sure it's tight and secure. So when he got startled, he was no longer bloated
bloated.
and the saddle started sliding sideways. And all I could think about was this horse is falling over and I'm going to bust my legs. Like, this is what's going in my head as I'm
Yeah.
falling 6 feet from the back of a horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I,
Mm-hmm.
I landed on my back, this horse looking down at me, and I'm like, you're an ass. Like,
Yeah.
you just, it's a bird. There's birds everywhere. But yeah, so that was my butt. They fixed it up. I climbed the wire fence because I needed something. I couldn't just like put my foot in the saddle and like swing.
Same.
I'm not a cowgirl.
Yeah.
I'd like to be, but I'm not officially. So I need like the step stool to get up on the horse. So they had to help me, and I climbed that little fence and got back on because all the kids were watching, right? So I needed that. The moral of that story is to always get back on the horse,
Get
right?
back
So
on the horse,
yeah,
which it's
so
scary. It's scary. I
yeah.
heard something the other day. I forget what it was on, but it said riding a horse is like riding a motorcycle that makes really bad decisions. And,
That's a good point.
and I was like, yeah. And you know, you try to control them as best as you can, but you know, if they want to win, they're going to win, you know.
Yeah.
So,
That's the
um
other story I have. I was on a horse. I was a teenager at this point. First time I'd ever been on a horse. And I don't know why we're on this trail and there's this hill down beside us. Well, he decided he wanted the shortcut. So he went down this hill that was like super steep. And I'm like, I'm going to die. So now I'm leaning backwards, right? Just trying to stop from going head over tails. And I was screaming the whole way down. This horse was just like, there was no like,
no,
there was none of it. I just
no,
had to hang on for dear
yeah,
life. I got back. Everyone comes back a half hour later. Where'd you go? I'm like, wherever the horse decided me to take me.
exactly. Wherever the horse went is where I went.
That's right. So yeah, those are my two. So that's
I
why I'll
love
be
it.
riding the 12-year-old because I need a well-behaved horse.
Right. She's super, she even like parks out, which means they'll put their front legs out farther to
Oh
where
yes.
she lowers herself so you can get on. Yeah,
Oh.
she's like, but she's still sassy. Like she's sassafras.
What's her name?
Her name is Jolie. And
I love
then
it.
the one that we have at the Amish is Jubilee.
Oh,
So
nice. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
J and J. I love it.
Yeah, J&J. So
So do you ride often?
just like right now we're just kind of riding her around the yard. But we went on a trail ride. My husband hurt his knee, so he can't ride right now. He hurt his knee
Oh,
at work. But 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks, I was able to go on a really long trail ride. Like it was like 5 or 6 hours with
man.
her, and she did wonderful. But right now we have like 4 acres, so I'm just kind of
That's
trotting her
amazing.
around. Yeah,
I love it. I love
she's just
it.
in my front yard. So
That's so funny.
yeah.
That's so funny. So tell me who Letha is. Tell me a little bit about your story. How, like, you know, just one thing maybe that you knew you had to overcome, you had to get back up from, and you had to keep going.
Oh gosh. Well, the major thing just happened like 4 years ago. Well, actually 2020. And it's not what we think, but
Right.
um
2020 is infamous.
yes, yes. But my mom actually passed away.
Oh,
Um and
I'm
yeah,
so sorry.
it was she's my best friend. But what had happened was, and it was just a horrible story, and if I think too long on it, I can like really, you know,
Yep.
have a lot of regrets. But
Right.
she had, okay, so Cookeville, Tennessee, which is where I'm from, had a almost an F5 tornado on March 3rd. So it was like a F4, but it was just under the F5
Wow.
rating, and it literally, and it went right through our front yard. Like we saw it.
Mm.
It killed 19 people in our community. And actually President Trump came here
Yep.
when he was president. And so that happened on March 3rd. And then my mom had a stroke on March 8th. And we were
Oh,
still
wow.
kind of like under curfew, like my area, we could hardly get out. And my husband's a lineman, so he was gone for a week. Like, you know,
Right.
I never even saw him. So then she had a stroke on the 8th. And then so she was in intensive care. And then all the lockdowns happened on the 15th here. So her stroke was on the 8th. We were able to see her just a few days in the ICU, and then we weren't allowed in the hospital
No.
anymore. They would not allow us in. And so that was, like I said, her stroke was March 8th. And so from March until Memorial weekend, she was by herself. She never heard a voice. friendly voice. She never was able to see our face, none of that. And then I was able to bring her home on hospice um Memorial weekend. So it was like 2 months. And then she passed away in July.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but we got 2 really good months with her. And, you know, she was happy. She still didn't
Oh,
understand what had happened during those 2 months
right.
with the COVID and stuff. But yeah, I was going out every day and I was helping my dad take care of her. And I had called him. It was like 7 o'clock that night, and I had called him and I said, I'm going to finish dinner and then I'm going to come out and help you feed her because she had a trach and a feeding tube. And I said, I'll come out and help you feed her. And he was like, actually, I got it. He's like, I got her fed and everything. And he had to go outside to talk to me on the phone because they live out in the boonies and signal and all
Right.
that. And I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. And I said, well, just tell her I'll see her in the morning. So, um, he called me back like 5 minutes later and said, she's gone.
Oh
I
my goodness.
mean, yeah. So she passed when he walked outside to talk to me on the phone.
Oh,
And
wow.
it it's just I feel so bad because I didn't see her, that
Right.
day. I didn't get to see
Mhm.
her or that evening. And I don't know. And just the whole her being alone for 2 months. So
Right.
anyway, that sent me into a spiral. And I did not sleep for close to 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Like I couldn't sleep. I would doze off and then I would
Mhm.
wake up and I would doze off. And I literally was going crazy.
Yeah.
My family knew that I was kind of different and not the same, but they had no idea the dark place that I had went to.
Mm.
Um, because I just could not forgive myself for basically letting the government and the hospital tell me that I couldn't see my mom,
Right.
you know. Um, and of course, like I said, when we think about it now,
Yeah.
but so
Yeah,
I
hindsight's
was,
always 2020, and it's always really easy to look back and think I could have done this, I could have said that, I could have this. But in the moment when everything's happening, your brain is doing its best to process everything as quick as you can, and you only get a second. And like, so I get it. I worked in the hospital during COVID, and like I saw all the families. Like I was the family for the people who like,
yeah,
I work long hours, and just, if you need me to sit with you for a few minutes, like it was ridiculous.
it was
Just that.
horrible. It was horrible. And I mean, I have the utmost respect for nurses. Two of my best friends are RNs, but my experience was they also used that as an excuse to not have to deal with the families and to not have to take our
Mhm.
phone calls and to not, and you could never get a nurse on the phone. You would leave message after message after message. And
Mhm.
I knew that they were busy, but my mom
Right.
was by herself,
Yeah.
and she couldn't
Yeah.
talk because she had a trach. And so
Oh,
it was just, she couldn't pick up the phone and call us because she couldn't
yeah.
talk. So it was just a horrible, horrible thing. And so I was not myself.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I also got fired from my job in 2020. Um,
Oh gosh.
and so I didn't really know what I was going to do. And
Right.
so I got I was able to draw some unemployment until I could figure out what I was going to do. And then I ended up starting direct sales or network marketing or whatever with a makeup company.
Was that your first experience with direct sell, was when all that happened?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
I love it. A
Very
light in the
first.
darkness.
I know. And I've always loved makeup and hair. And
Yeah.
as I got older, my makeup was not doing what it used to do.
Right.
And I would literally put on my makeup and I would cry because it looked horrible.
Mm.
And I was not, in a good place anyway. So everything was just amplified.
Yeah.
Um, and so anyway, so I found this makeup that I absolutely love, still wear it to this day. And when I signed up to order it, it said become an affiliate, and I was like, wow, I could get a discount for doing that,
Yeah.
and I could tell people about it because I love talking about makeup. So anyway, that was my
Right.
very first experience. And then I gained
That was
so
very natural for you. So it's not like you went and picked something that you knew nothing about, but this could make me money. You found something that you loved and that
yes.
you wanted to share anyways and would have shared anyways, because we all do it. The lipstick you
Yes.
buy from this place, or oh my gosh, you guys, I found this at Target, or oh my God, the pumpkin spice coconut chai latte, whatever. Like everybody does
Exactly.
what we do anyways. They just
Yes.
don't get paid for it. They don't
Right.
realize that part.
And I
Yeah.
never actually making money at it never really crossed my mind. Does that make sense? I
Yeah.
was just thinking
Yes.
about the discount on the product,
Every woman does.
and
Oh,
I
I
was
can
just
get a
like,
discount. That's
heck
what we all
yeah.
wanted.
I was like, this is awesome. And then so every morning, I also signed up to be a substitute teacher. So I started doing substitute teaching. My daughter is a third grade teacher, and she was like, we need really good subs. We can never find a substitute when we need one. She's like, will you sign up? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I did that. And, I could kind of pick and choose when I wanted to work and what school.
Right.
So every morning when I was getting ready to go to school to sub, I would do lives and do my makeup. And
I love it.
I just gained followers and gained friends and gained customers and who became friends. So that's kind of how I got
Yeah.
into this.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like women, I think every woman loves makeup. They love the look of makeup. Like if they were to go to a department store or somewhere and a makeup artist would they love that look, but they're
Yes.
so afraid to put it on their own faces. Because I've also been in skincare and I've done makeup before as well. I do have an affiliate link for a company now, because same thing. I wanted the discount. I love the product. I wanted the discount. Oh, here's this affiliate. Oh, okay. Like,
Okay.
um, yeah, okay. And that was one thing I found when I was doing that makeup, and that was like that was my main, that was my sort of only. Um, and it was the same thing, just like all like women just want to know, like, how do I put this on? What's the best way to do it? Like every woman needs or wants skincare and makeup, like every single woman. So I love the way you did it in the sense of I'm just going to share what I'm doing to my face and to my skin. And that
Yes.
really truly is how you are successful in a business, because everyone says, oh, I can't do that. But if you find something that you love, because I've had that conversation with so many different women. Listen, if what I'm doing isn't for you because it's not your jam or it's not, and you know, this ABC company over here is what you truly love and you're truly passionate about, go join that,
Go
because
there.
you'll be successful. You'll be doing something you love. You'll be
Yes.
sharing something you love.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that. I love that. You just shared what you were doing and what you were using, and women loved. I've had people even to this day like, can you start doing makeup videos again? Like they used to watch with their kids. My one friend's kid was like, Mom, she doesn't do those makeup videos anymore. And I missed watching her because he was
Yeah.
a young boy, but he just found it so fascinating that like you look like that, and then you did all this, and now you look like, so she was like, people would say that. So people really do love that interaction and that not being sold to, but here, I love you. So you have an episode that you're starting now. What do you call it? Vanity.
Vanity thoughts.
Yeah. So, and you're doing your makeup and your skincare. I watched the other night and you're literally just chitter chatting with the ladies that are watching your live and telling stories. And I'm like, the best thing ever. Like, this is reality TV at its finest. Like, I loved it. I loved it. And I think, especially now, people are so busy. Um, Having that connection even this
Yes.
way um is really beneficial. And we, especially when you're a busy mom and like, I can't put the kids to bed and then get dressed and then go out and then come home and then go to work. They don't want to do that, or they don't have the time, so they're going to hop on here and, oh, my friend Letha, I'm, like, I
Yes.
love that because it's still
Yes.
that community and that connection that a lot of moms need, um and don't make time for necessarily to go outside the house, or can't
Yeah.
because they don't have the time. So I love that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So
Thank
that
you.
was your first experience in direct sell.
Yes.
So, and what did you love about it?
Oh gosh. I loved the sisterhood. Like I have, so we have like a core group now. There's like six of us. We have a group chat, we have a group text, we take girls' trips. I found it very difficult. So, kind of like what I said earlier, like the middle school, the high school years, and then we have Roman with that 9 year difference. It's like I had friends, but I didn't have super close friends. It's kind of like you lose yourself
Yeah.
in those years. You know what I mean?
Mhm. We
You
do.
still have those friends, but you're not that connected anymore.
Right.
And
Especially if
so,
they're moms too. Like it's like everybody's kids are going in all these different directions and
exactly. Oh, I've got ball practice, or I got dance,
yeah.
or I got that,
Mhm.
and you text and you talk, but you don't see each other.
Right, right.
So I gained really close friends through this.
Uh-uh.
So I just found it really hard at my age um to make new friends, if that makes sense. Like around here, it's hard because you'll meet people and they got littles, and I'm in a
Yeah.
different season. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to find people that are like us, that are
Yeah.
almost empty nesters. So there was that. But when you're in the marketing and these people are on your team and then you connect with them, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. None of
Yeah.
them are even in my state, but we're still
Right.
really close.
I
So
love that.
yeah,
And it sounds like that finding something, finding a mission, finding something that you love, that you were passionate about, it sounds like that became part of your healing
it did.
from
It
all the stuff
absolutely
you went
did.
through and that emotional state you were in. So it's almost like it was a godsend. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like it was just the thing you needed, not even just financially, but for that sisterhood, for that group, for that family, for those connections, for
Yeah.
you to be able to heal from the
Yeah.
grief that you were dealing with.
Yes. Because I mean, I loved my kids, I loved my husband, but I was missing something. I was missing that
Mhm.
friendship that I had with my mom, that
Mhm.
connection, woman to woman. And so, and I got that. I gained that
I
through
love
these
it.
friends that I made. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. So let's move on a little bit and talk about, let's just talk a little bit about this little beauty, right? Well, you have caffeine still. I'm out of caffeine free, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't
this
wait
is
for it to
my
come.
second one today. So I did.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
drinking. Yeah. See, see the caffeine. I'm ADHD, so the caffeine, like I could literally drink it and lay down and go to bed. So that's not a thing for me, but I love that. And it will be coming back, ladies and gentlemen. We're not exactly sure when, but
Okay.
we heard soon. So for those of you that need caffeine free, how did you come to hear about this?
Okay. So with that makeup company, we had a retreat in Lexington, Kentucky. And my friend group, like I said, we went
Yep.
down and rented like an Airbnb 2 days before it started so we could all just see each other and
Hmm.
bond and see the sights and all that. Um, and my dad had started having some cognitive issues. And he lived by himself, since my mom passed, and he was fine. He's one of those, he doesn't like to talk on the phone. He doesn't want to see, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was like basically a hermit. Um, but when I would see him, I could tell he was having a decline.
Right.
And so I was talking to my friend Melanie about it, and we talked the 4 days or whatever, the retreat. We just went back and forth. And I was telling her my issues and that I was trying to research natural things. I didn't want to put him on any medication.
Yeah.
He'll be 80 in January, and he's not on
Hmm.
anything. Well, he's on a water pill now, um
Right.
but to be 80, that's excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
um so when we got back from the retreat, she called me the very next day and she said, I want you to watch something. She said, I follow this girl named Jackie on
Miss Jackie
Instagram.
Coney.
Yes. And
Love
she
her.
said, I want you to watch this video. And it was the OG video. So the one that was like, I don't even know,
Yes.
40 minutes long, and it's Marina and yeah,
Yes. I
the
watched
beta
that one.
one.
I think I was on that one, to be honest with you, like when they were
Were you?
doing it. I think I was on it, but I didn't have my camera on because I was so sick. Like
Oh,
I was struggling through so much of my own stuff, but I'm like, listen, I'll hop on, my camera's off, I'll listen. So yeah, I think I was somewhere on that, but yeah, yeah, I
yeah.
remember
So
that video.
she sent that to me, and I watched it, and I listened, and then I was like, mushrooms, lion's mane, turkey. Okay. Well, then I started researching, and it was cognitive this and cognitive
Yes.
that and Alzheimer's and dementia, and
Yeah.
everything was going, hey,
Yeah.
maybe
And
you
so
should.
let's be clear right here, you guys. I just want to say this because you and I talked about this already. My dad also has Alzheimer's. That's not a company claim. You can go to Google and you can Google lion's mane and you can Google all the research from independent companies in the
Yes.
and not even companies, but the medical, maybe not the medical industry because they don't really want you finding natural remedies, but all of this different research and peer-reviewed studies that are done on the effects of lion's mane and keeping in mind that they've been used in other cultures for centuries for these very things. So there is a lot of research. That is not a product claim in
No.
any way, shape, or form. That is literally go Google lion's mane and just start going down the rabbit hole because
Yes.
your mind will be blown. So I just want to clarify that because I know that's not what you meant to say, but just
Yes.
for those that might misinterpret.
Thank you. Thank you. So yes, Googled it, and I was like, okay, this is something that I can try on my dad. It's natural. Um, like you said, it's been used in other cultures for centuries with wonderful results. And so I, and that's when there was no fee to sign up to be an affiliate
Yes,
because we were still beta testing, right? So I was like, well,
yes.
I might as well sign up. And
Because we knew the benefits of
yeah,
affiliate links, y'all.
because we know, right? We know the benefits of being an affiliate. And
Yes.
so I went ahead and signed up, and I ordered the product, and I started taking it first because I didn't want to,
Yep.
here, dad,
Yeah. Guinea pig over here.
you be
Yeah.
my guinea pig.
Yeah.
So I started taking it first. And Faith, the first day I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding
Where
me?
you been all my
Yeah.
life?
It's like I literally could feel myself coming back. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like I
Yeah.
was I was peaceful. I had some peace. I wasn't like back to my old self, but I could tell, I could feel her, I could see her, I could
Right.
think
Mhm.
about her and be
He was
okay.
waking up. He was
Yes,
waking
yes.
up. Yeah.
And so I immediately got back onto the computer and ordered him some. And so it took about a week, I guess, for it to come in. And so that was, let's see, I signed up the end of February. So probably the first week of March is when he got his. He hasn't missed a day. He, and I would love to say all the things but again, it's not a medical claim. It's my personal story and what I've seen
Right.
from him.
Yeah.
But he used to come to my house and he would forget how to use his phone.
Mm,
Um, and he hasn't done that once since he's
that's
been on this.
amazing.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he would ask me something and then he would forget that he had asked me that. It was just a lot of
Right.
forgetfulness. And um he went to pay, he thought he was paying his cable bill and he was going to the cell phone place, and then he was getting angry at the cell phone
Right.
place because he
Mm,
was trying to pay his cable bill and he wasn't understanding. And it was just situations like that. And
right.
he is just he's a totally different person.
I love
um
it.
I mean
He's so cute. We have this VIP group, y'all. So all of these stories and more you can see inside our VIP group, but he's just the cutest. Like just
thank you.
so sweet.
Like he also started doing this, like when he would walk, he would shuffle. He would like shuffle
Mm,
his
yeah.
feet. Um, and so I noticed that, well, he's so much better. He's like, which I've posted in the group, he's like hauling up wood now, and he drives himself every single morning, goes to Waffle House, meets with his friends, and it reminds me of like the elderly men that used to sit at the courthouse and whittle, you know what I mean?
Right,
Well,
right.
yeah. Now it's the Waffle House.
Oh, now it's
But
the Waffle House. I love it.
and so now he's moved in with me. He's been with me probably close to 2 months now. He's moved in here. I just feel better having him here,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
he's living his best life. So
Oh, he's probably out there with the horses and all the everything, and
yeah,
just that is so amazing. I
and
love it. So
he's. I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, you go ahead. Tell me about
I was just
him.
gonna say he's never liked dogs. Like we were never allowed to have dogs growing
Right.
up, and I have 3 dogs, 3 Australian Shepherds, which are like rambunctious dogs. That man loves these dogs more than it. Like
Oh, that's
he
so
is
sweet.
just he's just a totally different person. Like his whole personality has changed, and he's happy, and um it's just so good to see.
I love it. So for those of you wondering, how could that be? Like, why could you even say that because of this? So you guys, this has 7 different mushrooms. And you can see all the information inside our group. I don't want to make this all technical or whatever, but the 7 different mushrooms, the benefits are ridiculous. Mushrooms, and especially the types that are in the rise, are adaptogenic, which means mushrooms will get in your body and figure out what your body needs most, and it'll go to work balancing that back out. So, literally, it's 1 drink a day, y'all. And then let's just talk about this little bad boy right here because I will not like I order extra every time I order. I'm like, I need 2 or 3 because I don't
Yes.
ever want to run out. This was like within an hour, but this is like the creepy stalker in the background that just
Yes.
kind of like comes along and all of a sudden it's like wham. And for me, that's been a huge thing for like inflammation, for gut health. I mean, combined, like you can't even. And besides that, you guys, is the healing frequencies. There's 11 harmonic frequencies, one of them being grounding. When you're grounding yourself, your body is coming back into balance, getting rid of inflammation. You will sleep better. You can Google grounding, not making product claims. You can Google grounding and you can see just the benefits of grounding. So there's that, there's support for your immune system, and every system in your body has its own frequency. And just with stress, with trauma, with emotional, you can put those frequencies can sort of fall out of whack. They can fall out of line. It's like when you're driving and the radio station starts getting fuzzy because you're getting further and further away from the source of the station. That's what it's like in your body when you have stress, especially trauma, especially. And inflammation, static is confusion and inflammation in the body. So that's why these are so effective is the ingredients in it. There's also nootropics, which is all the rage right now. Again, Google nootropics, go do yourself a little homework, or we can drop you in our VIP group and you can read everything. It's all laid out for you and you can check out all the stories. And then tell me, you're in the US, so you're blessed in the fact you use this.
Ooh, yes.
I
Every
did
day.
every day. I did not grab my container of zinc, but I don't know if you've
I
tried
didn't
this,
either.
Donna. I have to give credit where credit's due. Donna Valdez, somebody told me she recommended it. You put a dropper of this in the sink before bed.
Ooh.
Letha, I'm telling you,
Oh, snap.
I thought zinc was a good night's sleep. Times that by 50 when you put them together. So
Really?
CBD and CBG, and then there's also CBN, so that when they're combined synergistically, you exponentially increase the benefits of all of that combined. So, yeah, you have to try it. You have to try it. It's like, woo.
I'll
So,
I'll
you
try
guys,
that tonight.
this is like a CBD, CBG. I always get mixed up because the sync has the CBN. So, this is
CBN.
CBD, CBG. It literally, that computer you have running in your brain with 50,000 tabs open, this is going to like close those tabs that aren't running. You're just going to feel calm. So it helps with headaches. If you're nauseous, like it helps with so many things. It just really like puts a blanket on everything. It doesn't make you sleepy. So don't think that. Like some people, I take it in the morning. If I know my work day is going to be stressful, I'm like, oh, I work at a call center now for a medical company. And so constant calls, constant medical files, and you have to be sharp. You have to be razor sharp. But sometimes the phones can be ridiculous. So I take this in the morning and I just put it under my tongue, y'all, and there we go. And then of course the mushroom juice. And then the relief cream, I do have relief cream, but because I had to smuggle it, you can show people. I had to smuggle it into the country of Canada, so I had to peel the label off of it so they couldn't see the ingredients. As I say this publicly, but so yeah, I do have it. I use it, and like that stuff is a topical. It has essential oils. It has all those things in it. So it's I used it when I have menstrual cramps, if I have a headache, sometimes my back, my neck. And then we have,
Oh,
I know, right? It's like, can the angels be singing? So I used to, you're probably the same. I used to use a system that had 5 or 6 different things.
yeah,
And it was time consuming and it was expensive. And I loved it. I got great results. But it was like to find something that just like most of those things, like I still use a cleanser. There's certain
yes,
things I still
yes,
use. I still have masks, which this is just the beginning of our skincare line, y'all. I just want to say that as time goes on, there'll be more. But there's actually an ingredient in this, and I'm not an expert, but I was told that so when you use Botox, when you have needles and you get Botox, it literally stops the muscle contraction so that you don't get fine lines. This has an ingredient in it that will prevent those muscle movements from causing the lines on your face. It's not that it stops those muscle movements because, hello, you need them, but it stops them from putting those creases and those lines in your face. So I have these WTL, no, H. I can't say the F because my mom's probably watching, but the WTH. The what the heck lines, like they're
yes,
deep, y'all. They're like Grand Canyon deep on my forehead because I'm constantly like you
yeah,
like I have
same.
the most I have the most expressive face ever. Like
You and me both.
I if I have to keep my mouth shut, like my friend Krista, you know Krista, she's always laughing at me because she's like, I can't look at you in certain situations because I can read your whole entire face. So yeah, I have those fine lines. I have those, your lips after a certain age, they start deflating a little bit and so you get those they call them smokers lines also from using a straw, but hello, we have the
Yeah,
solution for that too. This is like a tuner for your body if you're into frequencies. It's charged with 11 healing frequencies and it stops those lines from happening. So there's so many different things. I can't wait. Black Friday is coming. And so I can't imagine what's going to be happening there. But we're also in the midst, I think it's only day 2 of this feel good, like a minute challenge. Like if you have 1 minute in your day to sit down for yourself and do something to reduce your stress and make and feel better and increase and improve your like your mental wellness and your emotions, you have to get in our VIP group because that's happening right now.
right
And
now.
if you're watching this after the fact, what's today? Today's November 12th. So that's when it's happening. But you can still come to our group and you can still
Oh,
follow through because it's recorded. So you could literally, if you're watching this next year, you could totally still do it. Day
still
1, day
do.
2, day 3. We can hook you up. That's no problem.
Yep.
But we have so many fun things that go on in our VIP group. So you definitely want to reach out, drop a comment. Letha can reach out to you. I can reach out to you. If you're watching this because someone else shared it with you, guess what? We're going to direct you back to that person because we're a family and that's how we operate. So,
That's how we
one
work.
of the things, if you're still skeptical, like some people are, that's just what it is. Or maybe you're in between payday, but you're like, you know what? After listening to everything, I really need to try this. You can get a 5-day experience. There's only 4 in here because I'm out of my mango lemonade and I needed one today. So there's only 4, but you're going to get 5. This was the closest thing to me while I was on the phone, and I'm like, I need it right now. So it comes in this cute little package, and you can, reach out to Letha, reach out to myself. We'll connect you with whoever introduced you to this. I don't like to say magic because it's not magic; it's science based. Um,
Yes.
but this goodness that I've been in companies and I've been in the supplement industry since 2011, done fitness training, done all of this stuff, and I've given people and recommended products that it was like it's going to take a few weeks for your body to come into line,
Yeah.
and that was a hard sell, but because I trusted and believed in the products and I knew if I could keep them on a meal plan and if all of these variables can come together, you're going to feel like this. Well, I love that this is literally like It's one drink a day. I mean, you could have
Yes.
more. Like Letha's, we're both on our second. I might be on my third. I'm not even sure right now, but it tastes so good. Like it's so
Mhm.
refreshing and I just love it. So, but it's not I saw someone else, and I'm not about to bash other companies, but they were excited about their new opportunity. And they're like, the products came to my door and it's 6 simple steps. And I'm like, six? Like, I came from that. I was doing dozens of supplements and checking them off every day. So you can't forget this. It's literally the first thing in the morning. You're going to wake up, your body's going to be like, give me that juice, drink your
Give
juice,
it.
Shelby. Like, I keep, drink your juice, Shelby. So it's one thing a day and you're going to love
Oh,
it.
it's
I
all I
don't
think about. It's all
I
I
know,
think
right?
about.
I don't recommend the 5 day experience. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're going to get through day 2 and day 3 and you're going to be like, I'm almost out and I
Yep.
don't want to feel like I did before because you don't know how bad you feel until you don't feel bad anymore. And so if that's what you need to do, 100% do it. But I recommend, if at all possible and at all costs, to do the 30 days. It's a money back guarantee on an empty container, 30-day money back, empty containers. You can use the whole thing and be like, you know what? It wasn't what I thought it was. I'll tell you right now, I've never had anyone do that, but the
Same.
option is there. That's how much we believe in this. So 5 days if you must, but 30 days is really going to turn the lights on in your brain. You're going to feel happy. I can't tell you how you're going to feel because there are so many stories. It literally does something different for everyone based on what your body needs. So
I'm
I
glad you
wanted to,
said that about the 5 day experience because my local customers, I can't tell you how many times they've come to my mailbox to pick up some extra to get them
yep,
through because they didn't sign up for subscription
there
and
you go. See?
they waited too long and they had a
Yes,
couple
or
days
they
left.
forgot.
Yep.
I know it's terrifying. It really is terrifying. So that's a good point. Letha, sorry, mentioned. Elisa was last week.
Yeah.
Um, if you put this on subscription, you guys, you're gonna save 10%. And you're never gonna have to worry about running out. Like that's the best thing is put it on a subscription, save yourself that 10%. Hello, it's amazing. Sweet deal. And yeah, you can I don't recommend waiting for Black Friday, but I mean, Black Friday is going to be pretty off the chain. So, like,
Yeah.
you could always order like more on Black
Yeah.
Friday
I mean,
because
why wouldn't you?
your friends are going to be asking,
Yep.
your spouse. Like, I know so many people, they're like, I need another container. My kid got into it. My husband got into it. Everybody fell in love with it, and I can't keep it in the house. So, get yourself a subscription. So, all of that being said, I love your story. I love your
Thank
heart. I
thank
love, thank God. This is one of the things I love about this industry is the people that you meet. You and I never would have met otherwise, probably not even through
No.
Facebook would we have met, but we just had a blast. Like she's just a firecracker as you can see. And check out her, what is it, Vanity Thoughts?
Vanity thoughts.
I love that because she sits at her vanity and does it's not vanity like vain, like I'm so vain.
Right.
It's vanity like I'm sitting at my vanity doing my makeup and spilling my thoughts to you. So I love that. Go check her out over there. She has the best. I don't know, you can't
Thank
really call it a podcast because it's like a video thing, but it's the best, it's one of the best little shows on Facebook besides this one. So you have to go
that's
check it out. Letha, I
thank you.
love that you were here. I can't wait. I get to see you in Florida in February. It's gonna be
February.
like a family reunion. I'm so excited. It's too far away, but there are also local events that are happening possibly in your area. Reach
Mhm.
out to the person who has been sharing frequencies with you. And we do a lot of stuff online too. So if you can't get out or you can't, it's too far to drive, whatever, we have tons of stuff online that you can check out. You can learn. If you're looking at this and going, I have tried these companies before and I've never succeeded, I'm going to tell you, you haven't had the automation in the community that we have here at Frequence because we have a $10,000 automated, we call it Freak Up on Demand because at pretty much any hour of the day, you can log into this portal and find live training. Like you can stare at the
Training.
eyeballs, ask questions, do things step by step. Some of it's how to make reels, some of it's how to get into, how to get new followers, or how to respond to objections, or whatever it is. We have so much training, and as an affiliate, you get it for free. I mean, I
Yes.
should I should point out that that's on like our team, so that's not like. But anyways, Yeah. So you gotta join the cool kids
You
because
got to
that's where it's
join the cool team. Yeah.
at. Because that's where it's at. We help you step by step, hand by hand. Like we literally have all the tools in place to help you succeed based on your efforts. And you're
Yes.
gonna fall in love with this, and everyone's gonna ask you anyways. So you might as well do what you're already doing, except get a paycheck for it. So that's my little spiel on that. Letha, I love you. Thank you for joining
I
me. I
love
was so
you.
grateful to have you. I can't wait to see you again. It's going to be so
I know.
awesome.
I'm so excited. Thank you, Faith, for
You
everything.
are so welcome. You're just such a beautiful, bright light, and I had to have you on here. So, if you have any questions, you guys, drop it in the comments. We will get back to you. We will make sure everything is answered. And thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us tonight. Victory has a voice and on the journey to happiness, hope, and healing. So, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again soon.